Hi, Maham. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for taking time out to
Thank
talk
you
to
for
us.
having me.
So, our audiences would love to know if you could tell us a bit about your background and what inspired you to become an influencer.
So, I think it all started when I got married 7 years back, and it was when I shifted from Lahore to Paris. And it was a completely arranged marriage, and the first 6 months were very, very nice, very romantic, very fairy tale, the words what I wanted. But I think France itself, Paris itself, became very lonely, mostly because of the language barrier. And I was always my background has been in finance. It has been everything that is non-related to what I'm doing right now. But I was always interested in writing. I was always leaning towards more the creative side and towards the arts. And I think Paris itself is such a city which is very inspiring. So I think my love for writing and pictures, it sort of all came together with the app of Instagram. And I think that was the time when this app was just about coming, it was booming. And that is when I just started sharing my thoughts, my random feelings, and and that was when I sort of developed a community. And that was a small community, but there were people, there were women like me in similar situations who resonated with my feelings. And it was never, influencer was never a word then. It was more of like a blogger, or like just a space for sharing your thoughts and your feelings. And that is when I started writing, and that is when Desi Baguette, the platform, came about. But yeah, influencer was never the concept then, 7 years back. Yeah.
So, what has been your favorite collaboration and why?
Collaboration as of yet. So I think moving beyond Paris, it was a whole journey. But I think my most favorite collaboration was my very first collaboration, and that was in COVID 2020. And that was with actually Shan Masalas. And it was with the garlic ginger paste. They wanted to promote that. And that was my favorite bit because that gave me the ultimate creative freedom to like do whatever I wanted. And I was literally in a night suit, and I was just doing it in those COVID, lockdown days. And it was my favorite because they gave me the ultimate creative freedom to do whatever I wanted, and the response I got on it was amazing. And that video, I think, was what led me to get other that video was what made other brands notice me. And it sort of gave me like my own niche, my own brand identity. And I think, yeah, that is how it all started.
Now we can see the bag and it says Shop Maya, Sub Maya here. What motivated you to start Shop Maya, and how did your journey as an entrepreneur begin?
So I think Shop Maya began through. So yeah, Shan Masala was the first collaboration that I got. And yeah, I think the so yeah, a lot of collaborations had happened. And the this collaboration I got, like this small business from Karachi actually reached out to me. They were a shoe brand, and they wanted to design a line. They had kolapuris, right? So they wanted to design a line of kolapuris around my blog, around my personality, around my. So I think that was the first time I realized that okay, I am able to give a product its own story. I'm able to give another a brand concept related to mine. So why not have your own product? Why not have your own brand? So I think that is what led to me, creating your own. And yeah, so I think Maya sort of happened because I was so inspired by that, how the audience reacted to the product line, how like the concept was initially to launch just one line with them, but I ended up doing it for 2 years with them. I launched 4 lines until I realized that you know there's endless opportunities, and why am I just doing shoes? I can do so much. And I think it's not about the product, it's about how you resonate with it, how you give something your story. So yeah, I think everything I've done over these past few years has led me to come to Maya and to make my own brand.
How did you come up with the name Desi Baguettes for your online persona?
I think yeah, that goes back to Paris when I started my blog, and I always sort of like was confused between two cultures, the Punjabi culture, the Pakistani culture that I come from, and to what I'm landed into, a French culture, which I'm suddenly have to adapt. I have to adapt to a new city, new language, new husband, new everything. So yeah, it was I think a blend of two cultures that sort of became like my desi side to what I am now. So yeah, that is how it began.
So, what challenges did you face when you first started as an influencer, and how did you overcome them?
I think when I started, so basically Instagram itself, it's a very changing platform. It's very fast moving. So you really have to adapt yourself to different algorithms, different kind of what's going on every day. So like one day, like how I started was long captions, pictures, and it was a picture sharing platform. But but now I think post 2020 when TikTok became the raging platform, Instagram adapted itself to a video format. So I think not just for me, for any content creator, for any influencer, the biggest challenge is that you have to keep adapting yourself to the app itself, to the platform. So I think that is the biggest challenge. And I think secondly for me was running my blog with my full-time work as well. So I think consistency. So yeah, being consistent every day for my audience to turn up. Yeah.
So, how do you ensure that your products at Shop Maya resonate with both British Pakistani community and the modern fashion trends?
So with the British Pakistani community, I think because there's so much. I think with the British people, British Pakistani people, I feel like there's people really crave our culture. They really want to identify with what's happening back home, and they really want good pieces, and they want something to constantly associate themselves with Pakistan. So I think, sorry, can you repeat exactly what the question was so that I can come back to the point?
So, how does it resonate with both British Pakistani community and modern fashion
Yeah,
trends?
so I think with British Pakistani people just constantly introducing, keeping products which align with the community here, but I think essentially what Maya stands for is having timeless products. So I don't want to adhere to any trends, to any fashion concept or anything like that. It's something that I resonate with constantly, and it's just having timeless products which will last years, and you won't see and say, okay, oh, this is very old, or this is, it's something which you will wear always. It's something like, your mother's bangles from her wedding, and but still relevant right now. So I think always sticking to your roots, that's the thing. It's never conforming to trends.
So, how do you envision the evolution of Desi fashion and culture in the global context? And what role do you see yourself playing in that evolution?
Again, I think you really just have to see. For me personally, I always keep in mind what is selling the most on my website. So, but I think it comes back to the same thing. I will never conform to trends. It will always be having timeless pieces and staying true to your own self, not what is trending, and it's just, yeah.
How do you balance your roles as an influencer and a business owner?
Oh my God, that's a balance I think I'm struggling with all the time. It's been a year since I launched Shop Maya, but it's something which is very it's something that I'm learning on the go, honestly, and I need help with it because I need a grow. It's a growing business, and I need more people to help me. But I'm always struggling because what I realized few months into it, that it can't be alone Desi Baguette or alone Shop Maya. My Shop Maya is dependent on Desi Baguette, so I have to keep both accounts active as well. So yeah, it's a struggle, and I really hope I crack the code. But yeah, trying to adapt to it as much as I can.
So, can you describe a memorable moment or interaction with any followers that had a significant impact on you?
I think it's always very special whenever I meet my followers. Yeah, I think everyone around me, they make fun of, like, how much importance I give my audience, my followers. But honestly, I think what I'm doing right now is solely because of my audience, and it feels so special when I meet them in person. And every person who's come up to me has been extremely special. But I think that very first time, because being in England, being in London, initially it wasn't, you wouldn't run into people that much as compared to you would in Pakistan. But I think the first time after COVID, I took a flight from London to Lahore, and the minute I landed on the Lahore airport, there were so many people who came up to me wearing my shoe line. So that was extremely special. And I think whenever people come up to me and coach, like, things that they have been going through, and how my positivity and my blogs and all the random bakwas that I do, they enjoy so much. So yeah, I think the duas that I get is something that I really treasure. Yeah.
So, what advice would you give our audiences to an inspiring influencer, for example, or entrepreneur within the British Pakistan community?
I think I'm very new to this British Pakistani community, I would say. So I think I could do with some advice from the British Pakistani community. But yeah, I think just stay true to yourself. That is what I say to every emerging content creator, influencer, that stay consistent, stay genuine, because that is what has made a person follow you. They take out time to view your content out of the whole internet. So you have to give something special to them to value their time. So always be genuine. And I think that is something very rare in this made up world of social media. So never lose yourself within this made up world. So yeah, I think that's my advice to everyone who starts anything new, not just social media.
What are your future goals for both your influencing career and your Shop Maya?
So I think I'm more of kind of like a live in the moment kind of a person. But for Shop Maya, I have so many goals. I want to take it as big as, like, any other retail store. Like, I look up to Khadi as my inspiration. Like, they introduced the retail line, the home line. That is something I see with Maya. Like, mixing in, bringing in my ethnic origin, my art, like the artisans, the works of Pakistan. But when I think of my influencing career, I kind of go blank, because it's something which I go with the flow. It's something I share daily. It's become a part of me. So I have no line, I don't have a path cut out for it. But I just hope my audience stays with me. And I think just 7 years they have been with me. It's I love them. So yeah, I think with Maya I see myself doing a lot. But with Desi Baguette, I just hope people keep following, and they stay. I think that's the biggest win any influencer can have in this social media world, that they stay for you, for your content. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank
and thank you for
you.
British Pakistan Foundation. Our audience will love you.
Thank you so
Best
much
of
for
luck with
having
everything.
me. Thank you so much.